What's up, everybody? Party people in the house. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? Wednesday night. And I've got my buddy AJ Zetro. He's waiting in the wings before I bring his beautiful face in. I wanted to talk a little bit about just do the housekeeping right up front housekeeping. So, welcome everybody to another Wednesday Night Live. Hope everybody's had a good week so far. Mine's been, I had my week was Monday. I had enough of a week on Monday. I'm still working, but it's got 2 days left this week. Hopefully, it's smooth sailing from here. But I've already had quite the week. First off, just want to go ahead and say thank you for your support. If you support me on Patreon, well, thank you for support in general. If you're just watching this video, you're supporting. If you're liking the video, sharing the video, you're supporting. But I want to say thanks you to these people right here going across the bottom that's in my Patreon. Pyretta, James Dean, Rhett Smetzer, Jesse Ray, John Steinheimer, Wendy Tipton. They're on my Patreon at patreon.com/in my head. And we were talking today in chat on Patreon about what we're going to do next for a hangout. And I think the hangout that we're going to do is the weekend after Valentine's Day is we're going to hang out. I'm going to pull out my Kiss albums and we're just going to go through my Kiss albums, all 50 of them or whatever, however many I have, and just talk about them. And so that's how we're going to hang out and just talk about Kiss stuff. So, you can get in on that by joining Patreon. Also, you can, if you go down into any of my recent descriptions, you can see links to Amazon affiliate. I have one in the United States. I have one in Canada, where Mr. James Dean's from, and I have one over in the UK, United Kingdom, where Tales of a Kiss Geek is in here. Glenn from Tales of a Kiss Geek, and he was messaging me earlier, and he said something about it gave him a reason to go get some beers. And I've got my beers right here. As you can see, I've got my Hershey's that I'm going to be trying out. Well, I've tried it before, and I've got this. I've never had this before. It's a Dragon's Milk white stout, and it's a bourbon barrel aged beer. So get your beverages together because we're going to have a good time. And I'm going to I mentioned in the chat just a few minutes ago that if you have the ability to join in, and you want to join in, if you have the ability, a good internet connection, a quiet place where you can go, a good phone, tablet, laptop, you don't have to install any software. I send a link. You can click on it. I prefer you to have headphones or earphones and a microphone. And maybe later on in the conversation, we'll bring some people in and talk a little bit. But I'm going to bring in this beauty of a man right here, Mr. AJ Zetro. How are you doing, buddy?
What's going on? You cut off the song. In my head.
Yeah, I know. I need to fix that. I need to fix that. Because just when he's getting ready to say it, it stops. And it bothers me too. It does. So I need to fix that. Because they're supposed to be, when it counts down, they're supposed to be in the original video. It was like time for the show is what it said. And while it said time for the show, it was saying in my head. And it got messed up like from the very beginning. I don't know what happened, if there's some problem when I rendered the video or something, but I see it every time. And then I'm just like, well, I need to fix that. And then it just slips my mind and I don't fix it. All right. So let's All right. So let's see who we got in the chat. It's crazy. It's a crazy night. We got a lot of people in the chat. Angelo Scanzelli's in the chat. And he was here early. John B. Good is in the chat. James Dean is in the chat. Tales of Kiss Geek, Glenn's in the chat. Dwight Manning. Emily Graziano, she sent me a message earlier saying that she set the bell, so she wasn't missed today. And so it's good to see you, Em. It's good that you're not tardy. And Wonder Joe's here. And that's everybody I see so far. Kiss Geek says, I have earphones and a microphone. Glenn, you were one of the people I was thinking about, if you wanted to come in just a little bit. And I know that there's some people they've talked about wanting to be in videos again. I just don't know if they're in a good place to be able to do it, like Emily or John Be Good, or anybody that's not been in a video before. Towards the end of the video, we're going to just kind of have a little bit of open time, and we're going to just hang out for a few minutes. So hopefully we get done soon enough for it to do that, so we don't take too long. And I'll put that in the chat in just a little bit. So one of the first things I want to do is this.
Yeah.
Look at that.
There you go.
Whew. Let me go ahead and get some of this.
The Hershey's? Oh, you still got some, huh?
Well, I'll be drinking these things all year. I've still got like 140 of them left.
Nice.
I still have a 6-pack left. I have not broken into any of the 12 packs. I have 12 packs that I've not broken into yet.
And I never ran across them over here.
You didn't?
I didn't look really hard, but usually you see a 12 pack.
I could send you some.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what happened. I just missed the boat, or what the hell happened this year, but thanks for having me on again. This is kind of cool. This is not in our heads, but in your heads is your heads, like the panel's heads.
It's in all of our heads. It's in all of our heads.
I've been up since 1:30.
It's in
so I'm ready to go, man.
1:30 a.m. this morning, right?
I've been going since 1:30 a.m. Yep. And if I fall asleep in the middle of it, I apologize, but I'm amped. I'm ready to talk about a couple of good albums here.
Oh yeah. Well, 83 people wanted to talk about these two albums here. Lick It Up and Back in Black. Lick It Up, Back in Black. And I love in the back of my Lick It Up here, if I flip it over, I've got my 45s. Sometimes when I have 45s, I'll usually put them with the albums. So check these out. This is Lick It Up and Not for the Innocent. Lick It Up, Not for the Innocent. And this is All Hell's Breaking Loose.
Oh.
With Young and Wasted on the back.
Oh, shit.
On the B side. So, yeah, I found them in a record store a few months ago. That's something I miss. I had somebody ask me, they're like, when are you going to make a record store shopping video again? Because I have a few. I have a couple where I went record store shopping, and I've not been a whole lot since COVID. I think since COVID, I've only been record shopping maybe once or twice. Not any really big, extended things. I'd drive by a record store and be like, oh, let me go in and see. And I didn't have anything with me. And I didn't have my camera with me or nothing. So, but I am going to try to get back out and do some record shopping. Want to go visit my favorite place. There's a place in Lenore near me called Dead Wax. I've featured it videos before. There's another one downtown Morganton where I work called Play It Again. I want to go visit there. They've usually got some pretty good, decent Kiss stuff. Sometimes they're a little proud of it. But when I got my the last time I went record store shopping, I actually picked up my You Wanted the Best, You Got the Best album that I've showed before. That's the last thing that I bought whenever I went shopping.
I meant to grab my album, my Lick It Up album, but it's been a day, so it's in the garage. So, but I had a funny story about it if you want to hear it real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
When I got the album, I don't know when it was. I was probably for Christmas because like I talked before. Usually when I got my Kiss albums was usually Christmas time, and the lady who used to babysit me lived right across the street from my grammar school, and she had a son who was I don't know. He's probably in a good 5 or 6 years older than me, and him and his buddy had a BB gun, and they were looking for targets to shoot at. So me wanting to fit in with the older kids, I said, "Hey, you can use my Kiss album if you want." So
no, you didn't.
My copy of Lick It Up has a good like 8 or 9 BB holes in it, and luckily the first shot that they shot, I forgot to take the record out, but the first shot they shot hit like the corner. And it didn't hit the record. I'm like, wait, let me get the record out. So I took the record out, and I let him, like an idiot, I let these 2 older kids shoot up my.
That's a great story, though. I mean,
I'll dig it out, and I'll send you a picture. You can clearly see, BB holes in it. And they're shooting inside the house.
Did they get Gene's tongue? That would have been the
I think
sharpshoot right there.
Yeah, I think they were aiming for it. I'd have to double check, but yeah, I don't. I think Eric Carr got the worst of it, probably.
Yeah. They're probably all aiming for crotches. They're doing crotch shots.
Yeah, for
They're
sure.
trying to shoot the two new guys.
Yeah, I want to say
Vinny
they're
and,
probably in 8th grade now. Probably in third, something like that.
Yeah. Speaking of Vinny, I did want to mention this real quick because I've talked to the guy that is and dang it, I didn't contact him. He told me to contact him next time I was doing a live. I'm going to try to get him in a live, video. But he's the guy that was putting together this Creatures Fest, and so Creatures Fest is made, and they're not sponsoring me, they're not endorsing me or anything like that. I'm just doing this because I think this is really cool. I can't go because I'll be on a cruise. I don't think my wife would want to stay married to me if I say, honey, I don't want to go on a cruise. I want to go Creatures Fest. But May 27th, May 29th in Nashville, Tennessee. And this is who's going to be there. Ace Frehley's going to be there. Vinnie Vincent, Bruce Kulick, Enough's Enough, Vixen, Quiet Riot, Trickster, John Corabi, Pretty Boy Floyd, Quarantine, and what is that? Roar Rosrak? Do you know bands like that, AJ? Who is that? Do you know who they are?
No, I never heard of them. It looks pretty evil, though.
Yeah. And the tickets the day passes are like $75, and then you get multiple passes. And this is pretty cool here. They have you can get meet and greets with autographs and the stuff that you see here for $295. And they got Ace and Vinny and Bruce. And somebody mentioned earlier about, it'd be cool to get a shot with all three of those guys. They have those packages. Now, they're more expensive, of course, but they have the package where you could get a picture with Vinny, Bruce, and Ace all in one picture. That'd be cool. I think that'd be really cool.
Well, you can always send her with one of the girlfriends on the cruise, and I can meet you over there.
Right? Yeah, I'd love to go there. Tell my wife to take a girlfriend with her. But yeah, I would love to. I would love to have went to that. I'm still trying to get Vinny on an interview. He's very elusive, and hopefully, I know some people inside that camp, and hopefully, I can get an interview. That'd be real cool. I'd be honored to have Vinny on the show. I was this close to having Bruce, which Glenn has had Bruce quite a bit on his show. If you've never checked out Tales of a Kiss Geek, you definitely need to check out Tales of a Kiss Geek because he's had Bruce on his channel many times, and Bruce is just a super guy. We talked back and forth quite a bit back when we were doing panels, and I almost had him come on for a panel for Carnival of Souls, but it was right during the midst of COVID when no bands was working, and he was doing other stuff to generate cash and everything. So to just keep these guys had to keep going, so he wasn't able to do it, but I'm hopefully that I can get Vinny. That'd be real cool. But we'll see what happens. No promises.
That'd be awesome.
But yeah, so that's that. And also I was wanting to mention that the Rockin' Podcast in Nashville, it's in August. I plan on going to that. I actually plan on hoping, fingers crossed, to have a booth and have my stuff there where I can give out swag and just let more people know about the channel that come through there and just kind of spread the good news of the channel. Yeah, so that's all that. So let's go ahead and get into the track listings and everything. Well, let me talk about the panel first because there's 83 of us. And AJ, if you've got a beer, this would be a good chance for you to drink a little bit.
All right.
So on the panel, you have me, James Dean, Matt Ucci, Mick C, Bill Sharp, Nick Avalantis, Armand 1972, Francisco, Hilly Billy, Vanessa, Chris, CBS, another Vanessa W, Aiden, George Gata, Alex, Eduardo, Pete, Juan Angel, CP, Kev, uh, Robert Johnson, John, Tate, Levitt, Kendall, D's, uh, Corey Morciet, David King, Les Wadley, Deuceman 65, Paul Bertolino, Michael Avant, Ampro, Joel Pegg, John B. Good, Timothy Murdoch, Trey Robinson, Dylan Tucker, Joe Nail, TH, Bethany Dawn, Scott Dunn, Adam Dixon, Wendy Tipton, Christian Peterson, Wayne Kerr, Raven FM, Brian, Angelo Scanzelli, Wolfsbane, Jesse Raid, Tony P, JFW, Hard Rock Reverie, Sharon Cox. I laugh every time. Tom Tobin, Sublime 130, Dark Light, Gregory Pegg, Kanan, Darren Helliwell, Andy Jones, Michael Dinker, AJ Rays, Preston, Scotty Scott, George Savastino, Roger Bennett, Rock, my buddy Scott Rock, that he's got the Kiss Room that he's been in my videos before. Scott O'Brien, Thomas Hubner, Jason Reiner, Jeff Wyatt, Justin Churchy Hansen, Chris Halliwell, Emily Graziano, Brian, Juan Alberto. Yeah, right. DC, Gabriel, Eddie Thompson, Wonder Joe, and Dwight Manning. All right.
Nice.
So,
Woo-hoo!
Nice. Yeah. That's the biggest panel. That's the biggest panel we've had in a while. So, it's good to see. These are two great albums. And I was real curious to see how this was going to go because my boy Scotty Sky, he has a theory that any album that goes up against Kiss on my channel is going to lose because this is a heavily biased Kiss channel. And I do agree to that to some point. But if it's a good album going up against a good Kiss album, there could be, Kiss might get toppled. So we'll just have to see how this one plays out. It is very interesting. I will say that to the league. Okay. So track number 1. And I want to hear you talk about your pick. Everybody go ahead and put your picks down in the comments. Track number 1, we have Exciter versus Hell's Bells. And AJ, I'm going to let you go talking about your pick and why on each one of these.
Well, let me preface it by saying the Back in Black album, great album, classic album, but maybe a little bit, what's the word you always use? Played a lot.
Fatigued,
yeah, maybe a little bit. Because you really can't turn on a radio station or go to a sporting event or something like go to a bar or wherever and not hear at least one, and pretty much like almost the whole damn album is radio friendly or radio hits or whatever you want to call it. So I think that might come into play a little bit, not just because of the Kiss thing, but that might come into play a little bit. But my right. You want me to give my first pick here?
Yeah, go ahead and give your first pick and why you pick it.
My first pick would be Exciter. Why it's mine? Like I was saying, maybe Hell's Bells a little fatigued. Still great opener for an album. Hell's Bells really gets you going, grabs you, get you amped up for the rest of the album. But Exciter, it's just one of those songs that I wish I would hear more. For sure, from Kiss, I wish there was, they would play it. So I like Exciter a little bit more as an opener than Hell's Bells. So that's my pick.
All right. I'm just showing the people the people viewing. Some of them are what they're picking. Everybody's kind of all over the place.
There you go. I've seen a couple Exciters.
Yeah, there's some Exciters. There's some Hell's Bells. So it's kind of split. So it's looking kind of split here. So you're going with Exciter. My pick on this also is Exciter. And just for that same reason, it's an awesome way to start an album. It kind of sets the mood for what Lick It Up is supposed to be about, and what it's going to be about. And it sets the mood. It sets the tone. It sets everything about it. Yeah, Exciter. Love Lick It Up, and I'm picking Back in Black.
Block 'em. Block them.
No, but Hell's Bells, and I think John said it. Hell's Bells is a little bit too slow for me. It's a kind of a weird way to start an album. You start an album with this gong, this bell, and it's kind of a slow start for me. I think that it's a classic song, and I'm not disrespecting it. But man, why not start this album with like "Shoot the Thrill" or something?
Mm-hmm.
Something that's got a little bit of kick to it, because that album does kick. The ACDC album Back in Black, it goes back and forth between party songs and these slow songs, these slow, deep kind of trotting songs. It goes back and forth between the two of them.
Or maybe even Back in Black would have been a good starter.
Yeah, even Back in Black would have been a great starter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of being the second side starter. And somebody mentioned Rick Derringer on Exciter. Yep. And then or we could have had like Darklight said, we could have said Excite My Hell Bell.
There you go.
And John says should start the album with Back in Black. I like the way Back in Black starts off, just that little count on the hi-hat and the little I just like the way that starts. That's just great. Yeah. And it's so simple, but it's so fun to play. I was playing it the other day on my drum set, and it's just so fun. And my wife was in here, and she was looking at me, and she was just like, "Is that it?" And I'm like, "It's really just boom, tap, boom, tap, boom, tap, boom, tap, boom, tap, boom, tap, tap, boom, tap, boom." It's so simple, but it's so fun to play. It really is.
Yeah.
Hell's Bells needs more cowbell. But you imagine if they would have started it with the cowbell.
Cowbell. I got a fever.
Will Ferrell. Could I add Will Ferrell? All right. So what did the panel pick? Well, there was about 11-point separation between this. The loser had 36 points. The winner had 47 points. The loser, Exciter, with 36 points. Hell's Bells, 47. What's that? That's from Old Brother We're Out There. Hell's Bells, son. So we need to find them boys. We need to sign them to a recording contract. Oh, yeah. They came in here in the can. They sang in the can and they skedaddled. I love that movie. Old Brother We're Out There. It's so great. All right. So Hell's Bells just comes out of the gate and pops Lick It Up right on the chin with a punch. Man. All right, so track number 2, between Not for the Innocent and Shoot to Thrill, your pick.
So, what was the score on the first one there?
Exciter had 36 and Hell's Bells had 47.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the other way around. Okay. Well, I was excited at first. I'm not that excited anymore, but okay. All right, number 2. Between Not for the Innocent and Shoot to Thrill, once again, Shoot to Thrill is a little fatigued for me. Still great song, good party song. Get you going, get them beers out, get the dancing. But I'm gonna have to pick Not for the Innocent. Badass, sinister.
Get the women dancing.
Badass Gene. Gene almost sounds like he'd be a hitman or something in this song to me. I don't know. Like something he'd be loading up a gun with a big long trench coat, going out to do a deed. So I like Not for the Innocent. That's my pick.
My pick as well, Not for the Innocent. Just throwing these up here. Not for the Innocent to me is a non-makeup demon song.
Yeah,
it's great. And just the way Gene sounds on it, the screams he's got on it. Gene's got some amazing screams on this album.
Yeah.
He's got some amazing screams. So for me, it's Not for the Innocent. And Shoot the Thrill, I love Shoot the Thrill. This was a hard choice because Shoot the Thrill is not it's not fatigued to me. It's one of the songs off of Back in Black that I really love. And there's a local cover band, Throwdown Jones, that my friend Scott Rock is in. And they play that song. I think sometimes they open their show with it. And it's just so awesome. And you're right. It does just it gets the blood pumping. It gets you up and going. and that's really the part of Back in Black that I like. The album Back in Black has songs like that on it, but not for the Innocent Man. I mean, it's not Kiss by Us or not at all. It's just a song that I like better.
Yep.
So it's what I pick. So I'm seeing a lot of people in the and once again it's going back and forward, back and forward. So this is almost the same outcome as far as votes goes. The loser has 37 points. The winner has 46 points. So it's about a 12-point difference. The loser with 37 points, not for the Innocent.
Damn.
The winner, Shoot to Thrill, 46 points. So out of the gate, Back in Black has just been like boom, boom. They've just come out of the gate swinging.
Bullshit.
And just so that brings us to track number 3, which
I'm done.
Lick It Up. You're done. Come on, man. You know, maybe Lick It Up's gonna be like Rocky. You know, he's in the ropes.
All right. I'm sorry.
Lick It Up 49. Lick It Up. Lick It Up against what do you do for money, honey?
Okay.
Lick It Up against What Do You Do for Money, honey?
All right. Well, Lick It Up was a great video when that first came out. When I was a kid, I couldn't get enough of it. You know. What Do You Do for Money, honey? Another great party song. That one though, I'd have to go ACDC on this one between Lick It Up and What Do You Do for Money, honey. Lick It Up is fun, but I like What Do You Do for Money, honey a little bit better.
Lick It Up is the song. Lick It Up is my third least favorite song on the album, believe it or not. I appreciate Lick It Up for what it did. And, you know,
Right.
The video for Lick It Up is great. And what the song did, it kind of put Kiss back on MTV. And I love that it did that. But it's not one of my favorite songs. It's just kind of, I've always just thought it was kind of boring. The song itself without the video to me is real boring. And I think it's played a tad too slow. I actually like it better live. They speed it up a little bit. And they just kind of Paul just kind of starts it off with that, don't want to wait till you know me better. And then they kick in. They don't just do the dum, 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 dum. It's just got a lot of that. And I'm just like, okay, come on, speed it up. Come on, speed up a little bit.
Give me the meat.
But yeah, What Do You Do for Money, honey is it's okay. It's not one of my favorite songs off of Back in Black. It kind of settles in kind of in the middle for me. But this was almost, for me, it was kind of like a less of two evils.
Right.
So I went with What Do You Do for Money, honey? And let's see what the panel did. The loser had 34 points. The winner had 49. The winner had 49. Yep. So you heard me earlier, didn't you? Yeah. You heard it.
No.
I was wondering if people called it.
No.
You heard it. What Do You Do for Money, honey? 34. Lick It Up. 49. Lick It Up. 49. If you'd have caught that earlier, you would have saw that there was no way. Because 49 is 49 greater than 83. Yeah. So at least more than half. So that beer's kicking in fast.
Right.
All right. So I ain't gonna blow this one. All right. I ain't gonna blow this one. All right. So
any movies you want to spoil?
So that's the first win for Lick It Up. Yeah. About that new. Has anybody seen the end of Ozark yet? No. Let's see. So that's the first win for Lick It Up. So now we're going to go to track number 4, Young and Wasted versus Giving the Dog a Bone. Giving the Dog a Bone.
Ah, yes.
What about you? What's your pick?
The first I like ACDC. Like Gene Simmons has a lot of these songs I like to call "Get It" songs. Get it, giving a dog
Mm-hmm.
a bone. Get it. Put my log in
Mm-hmm.
your fireplace. Get it. I got big balls.
Right.
Get it.
Yeah. Let me put
You
my
get it.
love into you, babe.
Get it.
Yep.
I'm around. Yeah.
Yep.
So this is what it. This is the first "Get It" song on the album. It's all right. It's kind of cheesy, but I mean, nothing can top "Young and Wasted." It's a great song. Anyway, and whenever I hear it, I just keep picturing Eric Carr singing it on that Animalize live thing. So Young and Wasted definitely my pick, hands down, over the old dog bone.
All right. Now, just because I saw it in the comments, do you prefer Gene singing it on the album or Eric singing it live?
Man, that's not fair. That's not fair. Because it's a little heavier live, I think, with Eric, and it's a little faster too. I would
a little
assume it's a little
faster.
faster.
Everything was a little faster with Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably pick the live version over the studio for sure.
Okay. All right. Me personally, and no disrespect to Eric, but I've always liked the album version better. I love Eric's vocals on it, and I'm glad that they gave him that lead vocal. They should have gave him more lead vocals.
Right.
As we discussed in one of our In Our Head videos. Shameless plug for one of my own
Shameless
videos.
plug.
Yeah. But if you haven't seen it, you should go watch it. I think it's episode 2, maybe. But yeah, Young and Wasted for me. Giving Dog a Bone is another one of those. It kind of falls into what do you do for money, honey area for me. It's one of those songs. I don't hate it, but it's not shoot to thrill. It's not songs like that I like.
Yeah.
So my pick is Young and Wasted. A lot of people are picking Young and Wasted on this in the chat.
See?
This is a big win. This is a big win. The loser has 26 points. The winner has 57.
Ooh.
So the loser with 26 points is giving the dog a bone. Young and
There you go.
Wasted. 57. He gonna sing a little number for you now. He may look like a boy, but he's built like a man. Paul.
Wasted.
You gotta love it. Young and Wasted. All right, so that is 2. That ties it up 2-2. So, all right. So, track number 5, the end of the first side. Gimme more. Versus Let Me Put My Love Into You, Babe. These long titles, man, on this ACDC album.
Well,
So
there's
give me more verses. Let Me Put My Love Into You.
There's the second "Get It" song on the album.
Yeah.
I never
Let
really
me put
cared
my
for
log
that
in your fireplace.
Right. I never really cared much for that song. I mean, it's kind of soft. I mean, me of all people saying it's sophomoric. I have the humor of a 15-year-old high school kid anyway. But that even for me, that's a little bit.
Yeah.
That's a little. Yeah. So give me more. That was actually when we talked another cheap pop shameless plug. We talked about favorite Paul songs. Give me more was close on my list because that's I love the upbeatness of it. I love that little break. Touch my body's making sound. Whatever I don't know the lyrics too. I'm not good with lyrics, but come on, make my juices flow. I guess that's another get it. Lick my candy cane.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on, lick my candy cane.
We're surrounded by get it.
Gimme.
Yeah, but I like Paul's "Get It" a little bit more than ACDC's "Get It," so I pick any more hands down.
Yeah, I think "Let Me Put My Love Into You, Babe" is like the closest thing. It's closest thing you're gonna get to a love ballad from ACDC. That's their makeout song. It's like, hey, let's make out. Let me put my love into you, babe. Yes. Uh,
After
give
a
me,
couple
give me
drinks, I'll
more.
turn.
Give me more. I love give me more. Except when Paul starts getting a little the give me more towards the end. That's the only part about that song that really kind of gets to me, and it loses cool points with me on that. But Let Me Put My Love Into You is a good song too, as far as I'm concerned. But this was real close for me, but it got edged out by Gimme More. Maybe a little bit of Kiss bias going on there, maybe just a little. But that's what I went with. So what did the panel choose? This was overwhelming too. 31 to 52. 31 to 52. The loser, Gimme More. The winner,
What?
Let Me Put My Love Into You with 52 points. So,
Oh, y'all suck.
so Back in Black comes back and goes up by one, so it's 3-2. Now we're flipping the vinyl. I'm gonna open this beer because my throat's
There
dry.
you go. Side 2, beer 2.
Here we go. There we go.
Woo!
Side 2, beer 2. I'm gonna pour this into a glass because it says it's a white.
Well, you're an aristocrat. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, I
That's
still
good.
poured too fast. I got too big of a head on it. I got too big of a head. Get it? Get it?
Get it?
Get it? Get it? Get it?
That's a good beer, though. It goes down smooth. It's strong, but it's smooth.
Yeah, 10%. This is Dragon's Milk, a white bourbon barrel aged, and you can definitely taste the bourbon. You can. I like the other Dragon's Milk, the one that's the not white stout.
I like
the dark one.
Friday starts on Wednesday.
And what'd you say? What'd you say? You broke up there for a second.
I said I like to call that one Friday starts on Wednesday.
Yep. Cheers, everybody. Cheers to side 2. Let's see what's going to happen. All right. So, All Hell's Breaking Loose versus Back in Black.
Oh man.
People cussed me over. People were cussing me over track 6 and track 7.
Why? What are you upset about?
Because those were tough. Those were tough for some people.
I thought it would be too, but All Hell's Breaking Loose once again. Like when that came out, the video, which was basically the Lick It Up video part 2. It was a cool song. The Paul rap. What be this and what be that? Why you gotta look like that?
Right.
But as time goes on, it's an okay song.
I am cool. I am the breeze. It's like let me give you a little advice. If you have to say you're cool, you might not be.
You're not. But as time's gone on,
no, you're not.
As time's gone on, it's still a fun song, still a good song. But I got to pick Back in Black because it's just, you would think that would be Fatigue, but that's just a badass song. Like I said, it really should have started the album, in my opinion. That would have been great. Probably taboo to have the first song, the name of your album, but if I had to choose, if I had to rearrange the shuffle the tracks or whatever, I would definitely put that as track 1. So Back in Black, overall Hells for me.
Okay. Okay. My pick is Back in Black as well. I love All Hell's Breaking Loose. I love that riff, and I love that Eric wrote that riff originally kind of trying to mimic a Led Zeppelin song, and you can definitely hear that you can hear that. And then Paul and Gene got a hold of it and kind of took it in a direction that he didn't really want it to go, just like they did with all of Eric's songs. Um, so, uh, and I love that song, but Back in Black. I mean, come on, it's Back in Black,
Hmm.
and it's my favorite song on the album. There's only one song I like better on the album, and it's actually not a hit. It's kind of stupid. Um, what my second favorite song is on this album, but so my pick is Back in Black. So let's see what the panel picked.
Let's see.
I'm seeing all kinds of stuff in the bottom in the comments, but this is pretty massive too. 26 to 57. 26 to 57. It's the
Oh
biggest
boy.
win on the biggest win on the whole thing. Well, actually, it was tied. Young and Wasted and Giving the Dog a Bone was tied. The same numbers. Um, the loser with 26 points, all hell's breaking loose.
There you go.
The winner with 57 points, Back in Black.
All right.
All right. So that takes it up 4-2. Going into track number 7, 1,000,000 to 1, and You Shook Me All Night Long.
No, that's easy for me because I mean, You Shook Me All Night Long, another popular party song, but 1,000,000 to 1 is just one of them lesser played. Not ever played. I don't even know. Have they ever played it? But one of my personal Paul favorites, for sure. So my pick would be 1,000,000 to 1 over You Shook Me All Night Long. I love that damn song. It's a great song.
Yeah. You Shook Me All Night Long is really, and it's not fatigue. You Shook Me All Night Long is a song that I've never really been able to get into. I don't not like it, but it's just not one I've been able to get excited about as far as like some of the other songs on Back in Black goes. But 1,000,000 to 1, co-written by Vinnie Vincent. Vinnie's fingerprints is all over this album. Was all over Creatures. 1,000,000 to 1 to me is it's an amazing song. And just that opening line, "Baby, now that you've made up your mind." I mean, it's like, okay, this is gonna be a breakup song.
Yep.
Oh, beer burp. But it's a great song, and it just kind of tugs at you, rips at you. So it's my pick. 1,000,000 to 1 for me. See a bunch of people going back and forth. Shook. Some people saying shook you all night long, and shook me all night long, and 1,000,000 to 1 is kind of split. This is 36 to 48. The loser has 36 points. The winner, the loser has 36 points. The winner has 48 points. The loser is You Shook Me All Night Long. The winner, 1,000,000 to 1 with 48 points.
There you go.
All right. So now, Fits Like a Glove. Oh, yeah. Versus Shake a Leg. No, wait a minute. Versus Have a Drink on Me.
Drink on Me. Yeah.
Fits Like a Glove versus Maybe I Shouldn't Be Having a Drink.
That 10% hitting you, man.
Who's running this show? I am.
Wasn't Fits
Who's
Like
in charge
a Glove?
here?
Wasn't Fits Like a Glove where Paul did one of them things with that creepy thing with his finger?
Fits like a glove.
I hate that. Thrills in the Night. Anyway, Have a Drink on Me, fun song, good drinking song, obviously. It's never been one of my top tier ACDC songs. It's fun, but Fits Like a Glove is just like so badass. Yeah, there you go.
That comment.
Fits Like a Glove.
Have a drink on me, and then it'll fit like a glove.
Yeah. Hot knife through butter. I mean,
but in these days, you better ask for consent first. Okay, ask for consent first.
That's right. There you go. Very good. But I pick Fits Like a Glove hands down. And then once you got the Gene Get It, you got the good Gene scream that he never probably could do live like all his other screams, but still, that's just a badass song. That was one of my favorites when I first heard the album. So upbeat, heavy, Fits Like a Glove, man.
All right. And there's a lot of have a drink on me, and I've been trying to drink a drink every time I see one because everybody's saying have a drink. Okay, sure, why not?
Woo!
Have a drink? Okay, sure.
Twist
All
my
right,
arm.
Marco, I'll have a drink. Roger, I'll have a drink. Dark Light, I'll have a drink. I'm gonna have to crawl out of my room here, but I'll have a drink. Okay. My pick Fits Like a Glove, man. That Gene scream and that, because when I go through her, it's just, and he doesn't do the scream live, but I just love the fact that he changes it up where he goes, a hot knife, and then just kind of does that whole
the badass
thing that he does. And then he does that whole, I love that. He doesn't have to do the scream when he does it live. I love that. All right, so yeah, Have a Drink on Me is one of those songs. It's I like it. It's one of the songs I actually like better on the album, but it's not going to beat Fits Like a Glove when it comes to me. This one has a 9-point difference.
Ooh,
pretty close. 37 to 46. I think that's about as close as it gets. Not for the Innocent, Shoot for Thrill. Shoot to Thrill was the same. So 37 to 46, 37 points, Fits Like a Glove.
no.
AJ, don't get too pissed.
What the?
Have a Drink on Me, 46. Have a Drink on Me is the winner, 46. You guys are killing me. All right. So at this point in time, I don't feel too good for Lick It Up's chances, because y'all know, if y'all have watched my channel any given amount of time, that I don't really care for the last two tracks on Lick It Up, and I think generally a lot of people don't either. So let's see. I may be wrong. I may be the outsider. Track number 9, Dance All Over Your Face versus Shake a Leg. Shake a leg. Shake a leg.
Well, I mean, definitely the last two Gene curse that they had there for a little bit. But yeah. I mean, Dance All Over Your Face. It's kind
the
of
last two Gene curse. We need to make a video about that. That needs to be one of our discussion in our heads. The last two Gene curse.
Like we need 2 more songs. Gene, do you have any more songs? I have a couple.
Let's get the guy that's not really paying attention to Kiss right now to write the last two songs.
Yeah, right. Dance All Over Your Face. It's all right, but Shake a Leg. That's definitely the pick for me, because it's a fun song. It that Brad, you're like you're like, yeah, shake it.
Yeah.
You're ready to go, man. They get you ready to go.
Shake a leg, shake a leg.
So, yeah, definitely.
Y'all want to see me play drums? I'm playing drums, air drums.
For God's sakes, would you get on it, man? Yeah, definitely Shake a Leg, my pick over Dance All Over Your Face. A badass title, but that's about it.
Over your face. Yeah. Let's see. So, my pick on this, Shake a Leg. Shake a Leg is my favorite song on Back in Black. It is the funnest song, and I love it. Other than Back in Black, it's my favorite song. So I definitely went Shake a Leg on this one. And this one was a pretty. This was, let's see, 35 to 48. So, 13-point difference? My math's doing right. Close. And wait a minute, hold on.
Uh-oh. Have a drink on me.
Yeah, that is pretty close. Have a drink on me. Let's see. Yeah, Dance All Over Your Face has It ended up having more fans than I thought it did. Dance All Over Your Face, 35 points.
Huh.
35 points. Shake a Leg. Shake
Mm-hmm.
it, mate. Shake a Leg, 48 points.
Look at that.
48 points for Shake a Leg.
That's pretty close.
All right, so that's pretty much it for Lick It Up. I mean, it can't win at this point. So let's just see if it can at least get one more in. And it's going to rely on the 8th day going up against Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution.
Well,
so
to me, these songs are just one and the same, basically. I mean, they're kind of like fraternal twins, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like each one. Yeah, it's the end of the album. It's not like the greatest. Neither one are the greatest songs in the world. Neither one are like the worst songs in the world. But I don't something about. And on the 8th day, I don't know what it is. It's just maybe I have been when I was a kid, and just listening to it on my mom's stereo, and just I don't know what it is about it on the 8th day, but that's what I pick. Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution. It's okay to me, but I just maybe it's just that personal, warm feeling when I hear it on the 8th day. I don't know why. It's just kind of a. In the grand scheme of things, kind of an okay Gene song, but some about it, I picked that one over
okay.
Rock and Roll Noise Pollution.
On the 8th day is not my one of my favorite songs off of Lick It Up. I like it better than Dance All Over Your Face. Dance All Over Your Face just sounds so phoned in. It sounds very phoned in from Gene. And on the 8th day, it's a good premise and it's a good idea. I just think maybe poor execution. I can't quite put my finger on why I don't like this song more. But Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution is one of those songs. It's probably my 3rd or 4th favorite song off of Back in Black. I like a lot of the songs that aren't other than Back in Black. I like a lot of the songs that aren't the hits. I just like how it starts off so stupid. Not stupid, so simple. And then that drum just comes in. To hell you men, throw away your fancy clothes or whatever. Why are you out there sitting on the fence? Get off your ass and come down here. I mean, and then it kind of kicks in. I love that. It just kind of just grooves along, and it just kind of a cool. And I do see the parallels between these two. I do. I really do.
Right? It's weird. But
my pick though is Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution is my pick on this one. So this was a big win. This was a big win for the winner of this one. The loser had 29 points, and the winner had 54 points. The loser, and on the 8th day, Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution won with 54. On the 8th day, had 29. So, and on the 8th day, Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution. All right. So, and then my little picks, as far as you guys putting in your little survey about which one you enjoyed, if you enjoyed this matchup, 86% of you enjoyed this matchup. 86%. So AJ, I'm going to grab a couple out of the bucket. I want to talk about something real quick before we start losing people. Don't go anywhere yet, people, because we've got some fun stuff still coming. Let's see.
What was the score on that?
We have coming up next week is going to be this one. It's going to be the Blizzard of Oz versus Diary of a Madman. That is going to be a good one. I think voting is closed on that, or it either closes this week or it's either closed. I'm not sure. And I was supposed to put this up, but I got busy and I have not been able to do it yet. So I'm going to try to put this up tomorrow morning. Motley Crue, Generation Swine versus Kiss Carnival of Souls, track versus track. That's going to be coming up probably 2 Wednesdays from now. But next Wednesday is going to be Diary of a Madman. So don't leave everybody, because if you want to get in on the, I'm going to go ahead and put this link in the chat. And if you want to get in on coming on the screen with us, like I said, just have a good internet connection and a quiet place where you can go. And there is that in the chat. And I'll be able to see you when you come in, and we'll bring you in at some point in time. But AJ, while we're doing that, I think we're going to get Glenn coming on, and that's cool because Glenn, I don't know if y'all know, but Glenn lives in Ireland, and it's like 2:00 in the morning there now. So go, Glenn.
Woo!
All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pick out 2 out of the requests and beer caps. I'm going to pick 2 out. Got this one in my right hand, and I have got this one in my left hand wedding ring, right hand. So AJ, pick a hand.
Oh, I get to pick, huh?
Yeah, you get to pick a hand.
Oh, got to go righty tighty.
Righty. Let's see. Right hand. This is my right hand. No. All right. So I'm gonna see. We're gonna see what's in the left, what the runner-up was, and it'll go back in the bucket. The runner-up comes from a Mr. John B. Good, and it would have been "Bark at the Moon" from Ozzy versus Van Halen, 1984.
Ooh.
It's 8 tracks if you take off the instrumental of 1984. So that will go back in the. That's going to go back in the bucket.
Sorry, John.
The one that we're going to do is going to. Oh, this is also from John B. Good. Believe it or not, that's crazy. John's made a lot of suggestions. So this one is going to be. Did we do this? I don't know if we've done this or not. Kiss "Lick It Up" versus Motley Crue "Shout at the Devil." I don't think we've done that. Kiss "Lick It Up" versus Motley Crue "Shout at the Devil." Both has 10 tracks if you don't include "In the Beginning," which we'll say "In the Beginning," "Shout at the Devil," which is what we've done before. Both huge albums in 1983. I think it would be a decent battle. So John, we're going to do Kiss "Lick It Up" versus Motley Crue "Shout at the Devil" the next time. All right. So I see Glenn, and it looks like he's got a guitar. And so let's bring Glenn in and see if he's gonna serenade us. Glenn, he's a singer of a band called Walker, and I think they just recently had one of their songs played on the radio over there across the pond. So let's bring Glenn in. Hey, Glenn, man, what's up?
Nice.
I thought it would be a surprise. I didn't know I had a guitar.
Yeah, man. I see you before you come on. I was about to go over here. I was about to go right here.
Oh, okay.
I was about to go get behind the drums.
Do it.
Yeah.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well, man.
I'm planning on. I was actually. My wife had a good idea. I'm planning on doing a live stream where I take requests. But that just because you give me requests don't mean I'm going to play it. If I know how to play it, or if I can play part of it, I'm planning on doing a live stream sometime later on where I take requests. So.
There you go. Oh man, nice.
It's a request.
So how you doing, Glenn? Yeah,
I'm doing well.
How you doing? What time is it? 2:00.
It's 2 a.m. over here. Yeah, so I'm watching the show, and I didn't expect to come on. So
you playing guitar at 2 a.m. I'm sure your neighbors love you.
My landlord is loving it right now. Yeah.
I bet.
What's up with you guys? Where are you guys both in the States?
I'm right outside of Chicago.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's 8:00 there, AJ? 8 p.m.
Yep.
So the weather is like way nicer than over here right now.
I don't know what.
I'm on the East Coast in North Carolina, so it's 9:00 here, 9 p.m. I'm on the East Coast, Eastern time zone. John B. Good said to do. John B. Good said to do some Shock Me. I'm breaking up a little bit, but God, that sounds good.
Good.
Oh yeah. Shock me, baby. Yeah, you're getting nice. Getting sounds great from here.
Lovely.
John Steinheimer from Voice of Doom. Haim, I got to get you back Haim, I got to get you back in a video, man. Got to get John back in a video soon.
Yeah.
Hit me up, John. We need to do a video to get you in live with something. John B. Good, wow, good job. Darklight, good job. Shoot rockets. His landlord probably won't like that. James Dean. Now, James Dean is about as far west as you can get. James, you're in. What time is it where you're at, James? You had to put it in but I think it's probably, if I'm not mistaken, it's probably about 6 there, maybe 6 p.m. Because he's in Canada. You see, Roger's in Massachusetts. I like it. Play more. Armand said play more, and I'm down.
Give
to
me
the
a
bare
song.
wire.
I'll play anything.
Oh, you're in Eastern. Okay, you're Eastern time. Okay, so you're in Toronto. Okay, I thought you were more on the. I thought you're more on the other side. I thought you're out towards where, I don't know. I don't know much about Canada geography. I'm sorry, James. I failed you.
Can we? How about a little 100,000 years?
Is my face real? Yeah, a little 100,000 years. How about that? James is calling me names. He says I'm a duck and frunk.
No, I think he's talking about me because I'm fucking drunk.
Oh, making love. I just hate when the girl says, wait.
By my side, the come
Yeah.
I really want her by my side the whole night through. Do the things that I wanted to. Come on, baby, don't make it sad. Sure you look here.
Yeah.
This is cool, man, because I have to say nobody in Ireland or even the UK maybe, because as you said, I'm in the UK, but I'm not. I'm in Europe technically,
right?
But nobody appreciates Kiss. Like if I played "Making Love" here, everybody'd be like, "What song is that?" Like nobody knows Kiss here.
Is it all just the Cranberries over there, or what? Do you got to play?
Yeah, pretty much. Like if even.
Hey, don't be messing with Linger now. I love Linger. Don't
Dude,
mess
I love
with
the
it.
Cranberries. You know how sad I was when she died. My wife too, big fan. We saw them 3 times. I'm
Really,
sad as hell that she's gone, man. I love them.
True story. I would rather hear Linger than Zombies any day. Any
Really?
day. Yeah, I love Linger, man. That song, man, that song tears me up, and I'll tell you that even if I'm not drinking.
You guys know that Zombie song, do you?
Yeah, oh yeah. It's a huge hit over here.
I hate that song.
That song is huge over here, man.
Wow.
See, I liked it because it's heavy.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was on Ralph Vieira's show a few months ago, maybe even a year now, and I probably shouldn't be saying this, but we're having a call tomorrow about the same time tonight, like tomorrow, but my time. And what was I going to say? Yeah, we're going to be talking about a Kiss album. I won't give it away, but we're reviewing basically a Kiss album that's more of my generation. And we were talking before about different songs and stuff, and he told me that he knew a lot of U2. And I was thinking, Jesus, like U2 are big in the States, and maybe that's kind of naive of me.
Oh wow.
YouTube is huge. YouTube has been huge in the States since I was a teenager. Like I was a senior in high school in 1987. Were you even born then, Glenn?
No, I'm you know what I am? I'm a reunion tour baby. I was born in 96.
Oh
wow.
YouTube has been big in the States all the way back to 1987. The song with or Without You, when the Joshua Tree came out. YouTube's huge over here.
That's the one album I actually like from them. So
yeah.
The album you were talking about, does it rhyme with Schmonster?
I'm not saying anything, but I will say yes.
Well, Schmack-a-Magab is a bigger fan of one of those more recent Kiss albums than he is the other. So hopefully you catch him with one that he really likes. Ralph's been on my show a couple times, and I'm actually going down to cruise out of Miami in May. And I told him when I'm down there, I'm actually going to be down there a day before my cruise is out. And I told him that when I'm down there, me and him need to go out and have some beers, and hopefully I'll film something for my channel being down there with him. But I always love when having Ralph on my channel. Even before I had started doing track versus track, because he does, he don't call it track versus track. He calls it something else. But before I even started doing it, I emailed him and, private messaged him and asked him, hey man, do I have your blessing? Do I have your blessing to do this? Because I don't want you to think I'm ripping you off. And he's like, nah, man, go for it. So me and Ralph, we go way back. If it wasn't, and I've said this many times, and Glenn, I don't know if you know about this, but I've said it I've said it before. If it wasn't for Ralph, I probably wouldn't even have a YouTube channel, because watching Ralph I discovered Ralph, and then I went back in his back catalog, kind of like Nick from Stang Driver is doing my catalog. But I went back in his catalog and I watched all his Kiss review albums. And I liked the way that he did it. And I was like, I could do that. And I could do my own little something different to it. So I had this rating system that I come up with, and I rated the albums, and he said, that's geeky as hell, but man, I like that you do that, I was like, well, yeah. I'm a numbers dude. I'm an IT geek, I'm a technology geek. So I'm always going to kind of bring that in a little bit. But, and I've had him on a few of my videos, talking about albums and stuff. So Ralph, he's a killer guy. He's so down to earth, and I'm looking forward to meeting him and everything. So,
yeah, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, he really is. So somebody said something about somebody gave another request earlier while we were talking.
I didn't mean to come on here and do karaoke. I didn't.
Oh, we don't care. I don't care. Somebody said Parasite. Can you do Parasite?
Oh, there you go.
Okay, but hang on. I have to. If the internet is so good right now and we're getting such a good connection, I have to ask you, Brand.
Yeah.
Am I doing the Tommy Thayer version or the Ace Frehley version?
You have to do the Ace Frehley version. I mean, come on.
So I have to put on a fuckload of rings now.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
Yeah.
Next request. No, it's so cool because I never get the chance like to play these Kiss songs because nobody here knows them. It's funny because I have one of my best friends is from Brazil, so like whenever I have him over here, this is my own place here, and
yeah.
If like I invite him over, he's like, "Oh man, I saw Kiss in Sao Paulo," or he actually saw them at the fucking. Sorry, can I swear? He saw Kiss in Rock in Rio in '94.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So like he saw prime Kiss in my opinion because I saw the Sonic Boom Over Europe tour and the Kiss World, the recent tour in Madrid. But he saw them over in Brazil when they were playing like with Bruce and Eric, so he's the only guy that really appreciates Kiss in my kind of bubble, so it's awesome when I get any opportunity to play Kiss.
Well, how did you get into him, Glenn? How did you find out about him?
Honestly, just because it might be mad, crazy like for you guys to hear, but over here, God Gave Rock and Roll to You and Crazy Nights would be two big Kiss songs. So like now like they wouldn't be big in the sense that you put on radio and you're going to hear them. Like Brand said, my band was on radio recently, and that was big to me because there's one rock radio station in Ireland. So we were on their rock radio station. If that it resonates with me. But if you were to put on like a rock like a TV channel, like a rock, like you watch all the music videos coming in and all that. Like we have Kerrang here. We have I'm trying to think of another one. I'm going back like 15 years. You have Scuzz here. I don't know if you guys have that. Scuzz. No.
Metal Hammer.
No, Metal Hammer. But like I put that on, and one day I was watching Limp Bizkit, Sum 41, Blink 182, Avril Lavigne, all of that kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden I heard, and Bruce showed me how to play this over a video call, and I'm gonna give you an exclusive. You ready?
Yeah.
And that's all you get. But yeah, I saw that song played on TV and it just hooked me for life. And then I found out, this band used to play with makeup on, and my older brother knew a bit more about them and he explained everything to me. And I went down the rabbit hole online and I found out all things Kiss. And here I am with Kiss stuff all around me.
Right. And there's a lot of it.
Photos.
Yeah.
Say again, sorry.
I said, and there's a lot of it too out there. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Kept you busy for a while.
For better or worse. Yeah.
Very cool. I'm always interested because I've been a fan since I was like 4 or 5, so it's been like 40 some years. Same with Brant. Brant's a 40 pluser, right?
45 years this August.
God damn, we should be getting paid for this.
I know, right? No, I'm supposed to turn in my Kiss Army card because I just put out another Paul Stanley lip syncing video.
Yes, you did. And how did that go? I haven't read any comments. You get any shit for it?
I've only had a couple where they're like, it's been mostly positive.
Yeah.
I wish the trolls would really jump on it and start harassing me about it, because then it'd jump in the YouTube algorithm and they'd get 100,000 views and make me about $200. And then I'd have the last laugh when I'm sitting going like this. Right now it's made about $5.
Brand, if I may ask, who's the generation, like what's the generation that really target you going like, he doesn't lip sync, he doesn't stop saying all this stuff? Like, what's typically the generation that does that?
It's typically younger. Most of the generation that watches my videos that agrees with me are anywhere between 10 years of my age, either maybe 10 years younger or 10 years older. My primary demographic, according to YouTube, is males, of course, between the ages of 45 and 65, which is your really 70s to 80s generation Kiss fans. I'm right in the middle at 52. I'm right in the middle of them. You start getting into a lot of the younger fans that came in, which I don't understand, where you get fans that came in that are younger. But now sometimes that's not always the norm, because like Emily Graziano, who's very young and probably around your age, Glenn, she's like, oh yeah, Paul, she's always been supportive. Like, yeah, how can these people not see this? How, that's the only reason I did that last video that I did. I'm basically done with it. That video has been around for 2 years. I've been sitting on it for about 6 months. But I showed in that video my top 5 videos of all time out of 400 plus videos that I've made. The top 5 all it's actually the top 6, but I only talked about the top 5. But the top 6 all have lip sync in the title. And so apparently the general populace is consumed about that, whether they want to believe that he is doing it and they want proof that he's doing it, or they want to ludicrously defend that, that he isn't doing it, and want to come up with every excuse in the book. And I mean, I actually had some people, hey Jay, I had one person say, he's not lip syncing because, you know how I know he's not lip syncing? Because he sounds horrible. And I almost wanted to write back and say, he sounds horrible because the backing track he recorded it after his voice was shot, just because he's, because I mean, how can you, if you watch that video, how can you not say that he's lip sync? How can you say that he's not?
It's not.
His mouth is not moving when the vocal comes out.
Do you remember that first cruise they did before the End of the Road tour? They did a cruise, and it was actually, for me, it was my favorite End of the Road Gene costume. Remember, he had that like cod piece that connected to his costume, and it was cool looking. But then he went for that like destroyer kind of thing, which stop ragging on the past kind of thing, in my opinion. But yeah, you remember that Kiss cruise they did before the End of the Road tour, and they had all the tracks going, like that they were going to use. You could tell even then. Like I'm of course over here like watching the videos the next day or a few hours after, and you can tell when you watch it. Like it doesn't take, in my opinion, it doesn't take a musician to notice when someone's mouth isn't on the microphone. Like there's nothing coming out. It may as well be Eric Singer like faking the vocals in Paul's mic at the front, because it's like, and even your recent video, which I did watch, and that's not even the best example. Like you gave the Psycho Circus example when he does the big and he points at Eric Singer.
Yeah, he's like 20 feet away, and his back's facing the microphone. They still say that I messed with the timing on it because it was out of sync. I'm like,
you know what I have to say. I keep searching because I'm a weirdo, right? Every time every time that comes up in my YouTube, I keep searching for that specific like performance of Psycho Circus. I can only find that angle. I can't find any other angle of that. I don't know if you're the same.
Yeah. Yeah, and Psycho Circus, I mentioned this in my video, that Psycho Circus seems to be a song that he always lip syncs on. It's like it's a given. It's like, I don't know if he's it's that designated time that he gives his voice a rest, because he does not lip sync. I made a video about this too, that he does not lip sync all the time. He doesn't lip sync all the time. Sometimes he sounds painfully bad, even worse than the track. But Psycho Circus seems to be that one that he always does it on. And what one thing that you can tell he does it on Psycho Circus is if you go online and you find a video where he's lip syncing, everything goes good and the timing don't get thrown off at the beginning, and you listen to it, he sounds good. And I even made that video about 6 clips where he sounds identical in every single clip. And the reason why he sounds identical in every single clip is because it's the same track, it's the same pitch, it's the same delivery. And you being a singer, you know that if you do 200 shows or whatever a year, you're not going to sing the same phrasing in a song, the same pitch, the same enunciation, the same exact timing, the percussionic timing every single time. There's going to be, over the course of some shows, there's going to be some discrepancy. But I found more than 6. I thought more than 6 would be an overkill, to where he is using that same track. But then you go listen to that track where Eric threw the timing off and he blew it, and they had to turn the track off, and Paul had to come up and had to actually sing Psycho Circus. It sounds horrid. It sounds so bad compared to what the track sounds like. So, I posted something the other day, the End of the Road tour started on the 26th, or something like that. Started at January 31st. It started on January 31st, 3 years ago. So they're 3 years into the End of the Road now at this point.
I have yet to see them on this tour. And Facebook, the way Facebook does that thing, like the memories that come up on your Facebook. It just showed me the other day that 2 years ago, I purchased my ticket to see them on the tour. I'm supposed to see them in Hamburg in Germany. And it was supposed to happen, 2021? Or, sorry, 2020. And that's still yet to happen. It just keeps getting put off. So everything you've said about the whole, the tracks and all of that, I'm with you on all of that, and I agree with you. But I have to say that I'm grateful that my last show, I've only ever seen 2 shows. My last Kiss show that I've seen was one of the very last, and this might sound a bit crazy to you guys, but it was one of the very last Kiss shows that Paul Stanley did actually sung live without all the usage of tracks. It was in Madrid, So for me, that's quite special. It's one of the last kind of raw Kiss shows, for better or worse,
Nice.
Emily had a good question. Emily, I knew that you were in your mid-20s. I'm just saying that, you have to remember, Emily, when I say that you're young and you say you're 25, I've done that 2 times. Plus, I've done 25 2 times plus 2 years. So yeah,
I hope I do it 2 times.
At 25, you're young. You're young to me. That doesn't mean that you're a youngin', but that means she has a good question. If COVID wasn't around, would Kiss be over? If COVID had not delayed so many of their shows, would Kiss be over? You know that because they were supposed to have their last show. What was it? July 2021, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. The thing is, when they decided they were going to be over, there was no such thing as COVID.
Yeah.
Now she has a point. I can see them. You know what? My dad is one of those kind of biased people. Like when I talk to him, and no offense as well, but my dad is around your own age, Brand. And whenever I talk to my dad about Kiss, he's going, "Oh, Kiss, that band, that put out that one song in '91, whatever it was, God gave, and they keep doing endless farewell tours. Yeah, that band." And I'm going, "No, Dad, but it's not like that. Like, they're in their 70s now. It's going to be the last tour." So she's got a point, but at the same time, I can see that it has, at some point, it has to be the end. So, COVID or not, I can see this ending soon.
Yeah.
This is going to
And
end within 5 years.
And you notice they've not came back. They've not came back and said, well, our new final tour date is going to be this
Yeah.
day. They've
Right.
not came back and said that now, because honestly, I don't think their final tour date is going to be this year. They have tour dates starting back up here soon overseas. And as far as I know, I haven't checked the tour dates lately, but I don't think there's any dates in the States. They had the Vegas residency, and then they can't. Well, it was first they canceled it, but then it come out that the promoter canceled it.
I'm pretty sure you guys are getting some dates in the States. I think they're. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they're August, because they rescheduled them, and a lot of people think that they've just announced a new US tour, but they're just like rescheduled dates. So there are honestly a few US dates.
Honestly, I don't see us getting a final Kiss show till possibly 2022 or 2023, because 2022 basically is in the books as far as these stuff like that. Like, to do a grand scheme of a show, like a final show, that is a logistical nightmare to plan, and that will take a year to plan. And a couple days to execute. So to get everything in line that they need to make that happen, I don't think we're going to see the final end of the road tour date until 2023. And honestly, I swear I don't have COVID. I've just got this thing in my throat. Don't y'all notice those of y'all that's gone back to the office, if you sneeze or cough more than once, everybody in your office is like,
Tell them to fuck off.
Yeah. But it's true. I never thought I'd live in a world where, like, whenever somebody coughed, I'd shit myself. Like, oh fuck. Because
yes, my coughs are like,
yeah.
What are you doing outside?
One of the things is, Brand, I know
go home, COVID.
Yeah, like, Brand, I know your kids are growing up. Actually, I think one of your kids is around my own age, 25. But like in their 20s anyway.
Yeah, my second son, my youngest is 22, and my oldest is 28. So now I've got 5.
Yeah, my older brother's age. But I'm looking at, like, I have a younger brother who's 12 and a younger sister who's 8. She just turned 8 now. And I'm thinking, Jesus, her earliest memories pretty much are going to be people with half a face, which is just so insane. Like, sorry to turn this into a COVID thing. But
I just remember back in the day seeing pictures of people in Japan with masks on, like not just a few people, but like everybody in the streets with masks on. And this was years before COVID. And I remember thinking, wow, how crazy would it be to live in a world like that? That had never happened in the States. That would just never happen. And now you go into a store or walk outside of your car or walk into a Walmart or shopping center without a mask. And a lot of places around here in my area are saying that you can wear a mask if you want to, but if you're fully vaccinated and boosted, you don't have to. They're not requiring you to wear one. And so I'm vaccinated and boosted. And well, I'm not boosted yet. I can't get boosted until next month. But I'm vaccinated, and I walk into a store a lot of times with my mask on, just to put everybody else at ease, because if you don't, people literally run their carts into the aisles looking at you like, moving it like you're walking down the aisle, you don't have a mask on. I've literally seen a woman in Walmart come down the aisle, see me, and turn around and go the other way.
I like that.
Yeah.
Get out of my way.
Yeah, get out of my way, because I'm getting ready to do some crop dusting all the way down this aisle, and you don't want to be a part of it.
It's for you guys. Do you still have the social distancing thing? Like, do you have to keep social distance?
I guess it depends on where you are. Like at work,
in line.
Yeah, at work, and well, I've not really noticed it so much in line in the stores anymore. But I've noticed it at work. It's like at work, if I get up and I walk away from my desk, I work in an office. I have my own office. And the other guys, they have cubicles. If you're sitting at your cubicle, our cubicles are spaced far enough apart, and our offices are spaced far enough apart that if you're sitting at your desk, you don't have to wear your mask. But when you get up, if you get up to go to somebody else's cubicle or office, or if you get up to go to the bathroom or walk outside and you're going to be walking past other departments or walking past citizens, because I work in government. If you're going to be walking past citizens, you have to wear your mask. If you're going to be if you're going to be in a government, one of the local government buildings, you have to have a mask.
Right.
But if I go in the bathroom and I'm in there, doing my business, I can take my mask off. Or I'm in my office, I can take my mask off. But we still do a lot of stuff virtual, though.
Yeah, because it's funny. Like over here, it was so you have to wear a mask everywhere you go. You have to have your QR code.
I agree,
on
James.
Your phone.
Totally.
Yeah, like to show you've been vaccinated. But now it's the case that if you walk into a bar over here or a restaurant, wherever you go, you don't need to show your vaccination thing. And like there's no need for social distancing, all of that. I don't know if we're getting into opinions, but I think it's a little bit bizarre. I think it's a bit too soon.
Yeah. Well, I know this is totally non-KISS related, and Glenn, you might not know too much about this, being from across the pond, and AJ knows, and a lot of people in chat knows, and that the United States, especially our government right now, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, and you can throw stones at me if you want to, if you don't agree with me, regardless of your party affiliation, both sides of the aisle, as they call it, the government in the United States right now is just the biggest joke. The federal government is just the biggest joke. I think local government, because I work in local government and state government, local government, I think, still performs pretty well, and I'm not saying that because I am in local government, but and I'm not biased. But local government, I think, still performs pretty well, doing what they need to do for their citizens and stuff like that. But state government, maybe not so much. Local government is just or federal government is a joke in the United States right now, and it's I don't know, man. It's like I sometimes I just want to ask my buddy James, man, what do I have to do? What do I have to do to come to Canada, man? I work in IT. I know that you have to apply, and you have to they have to, put you through an application process, and they have to actually have a use for you. You can't just go to Canada. It ain't like going to Mexico. You can't just go to Canada.
You have to like Tim Hortons coffee.
Yeah.
Hey, I've never had Tim Hortons coffee, but I know a bunch of people that live up north. There was one of our viewers, Joan, who used to live down here, and she talked a lot about Tim Hortons coffee. She lives back up north now in Pennsylvania.
I love it. We get it over here. It's funny. A lot of stuff they get in Canada, we get here.
It doesn't surprise me. Yeah, with it being a British government and everything, or I guess it's British government. I don't know. James can school me. Oh, there you go, James. Man, yeah. James said he'll sponsor me. Woohoo! I'm going to Canada, baby. Hey, man, I can do.
Sorry, go ahead.
I can do what I do. Like I said, I could work from home. My job is 99.5% of my job I could do from right here behind me. I just go into my office because I'm a manager and I have to, supervise people and delegate and stuff like that. And but man, if the nuts and bolts of what I do for my job, I could do from right here.
Nice.
Nice. Do we want to bring it back to the end of the road tour? Because I had a question for you guys. What you guys?
Sure. Yeah. Think? Yeah. We'll be wrapping up here in a minute. But yeah, what's up?
Yeah. Do you guys see any members coming back to the end of the road tour? Because personally, I don't see it. I think it's going to just end with this lineup.
I don't think I'd love to see someone come back, but the money thing I'm sure is a thing on both sides, and I don't think anyone would swallow their pride on either side to do it, even though it would be the greatest thing in the world. But
I think on the opposite side, meaning like not KISS, I think everybody would. And actually, I would say except Peter. I think Ace would. I think Vinny would, especially. And I would go as far as saying I think Bruce would as well. But I think KISS would all say, and KISS meaning this guy right here would say, no, it's not happening.
Yeah.
That's just what I think.
Well, if you and I love the guy, don't get me wrong. I know I sound like I get on him all the time and everything, but if you listen to Paul Stanley in his interviews, he says that it's up to them guys. The offer's on the table, and I think that's just his way of not looking like a dick, in my opinion. But yeah, it would come down. The offer is not on the table because
you haven't put the offer on the table.
They've not discussed money. And here's the thing that always gets me about when it comes to Kiss, aka Paul Stanley. When it comes to dealing with Ace and Peter know their worth, whether current fans or fly by night fans or whatever. Whether the no Ace, no Peter, no problem crowd, and they are out there, believe me, they have their own channel. And whether they want to whether they want to acknowledge the worth of Ace and Peter, it doesn't matter. Ace and Peter know their worth. They know that all they would have to do is say, on this date, we're going to be on stage with Paul and Gene in makeup, and it has been far enough removed from the farewell tour. It's been far enough removed from that, 20 years removed almost now, that if Ace and Peter said we're going to be on stage with Gene and Paul, they would be able to rent the biggest stadium they could get. And they would sell out every damn seat in the place. And that is the worth of Ace and Peter. That is the worth of Ace Frehley and Peter Criss. And Paul and Gene know it. They know that with Ace and Peter, there comes a price that they have to pay. And the problem is they're not willing to pay it. Willingly, they're not willing to pay it. And I think it's good. Kudos to Ace and Peter, because they pulled the whole, well, Ace and Peter don't want to be involved, like with the whole little thing that A&E did. Ace and Peter chose not to be involved. Well, why did Ace and Peter choose not to be involved? Maybe because you didn't offer them shit as far as payment goes. How much money did you two make off the A&E special? How much money were you willing to give Ace and Peter? How much higher would the ratings have been on that show if they would have if people would have knew Ace and Peter was going to be in that? They would have picked up a whole lot more viewership. It's like Ace and Peter know their worth, and Paul can't stand the fact that Ace and Peter know their worth, and that him and Gene don't want to pay them what they're worth, because Gene's all about money. See, Paul and Gene are driven by two different forces, and whether you agree with me, maybe you do, maybe you don't. I think one person does because I saw it. I'm not going to put it up. I'll wait till I say it, but I was going here. Gene and Paul are driven by two different things. Gene is driven by money. Paul is driven by that. That is what Paul's driven by. Paul cannot stand that there are people that used to be in Kiss that fans like more than him. Can't stand it. Can't stand it. And everybody knows that everybody's favorite member of Kiss is Ace Frehley. Everybody knows. And everybody knows. I mean, it's the favorite solo album, and it's everybody's favorite member.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm just, I'm saying, I know there's people out there that like Gene and like Paul and like Bruce and like Vinny, and I do too. But if you took every person who had an opinion and you aggregated it down, all those votes down, who would be the most popular member? It would be Ace. I'd bet my house on it.
Do you think?
I'd bet my house.
No, genuinely, do you think? Like, if you took, all different generations, do you think Ace would be the guy? Because I would go as far, and he's not my favorite, but I would go as far as saying it would be Paul.
Yeah.
No?
I don't know.
Maybe it's just a generation thing.
Maybe it is. I mean,
Ace was my favorite for sure, and if you notice the extra Ace songs on Dynasty and Unmasked after his solo album, I mean, they saw they had a good thing, and
yeah.
Sure, like, okay, we're gonna have to put more Ace songs in the next couple albums.
And I love that they constantly use that whole analogy about if you're trying to go on a trip and you have two tires that are constantly going flat, you get rid of the tires and you get two dependable tires in its place. And I'm sorry, that doesn't hold weight with me because yes, they did fire Peter Criss. At the time, Peter Criss was off the rails and he deserved to be fired. He did things, and I love Peter Criss. He was my favorite Kiss member for a long time. But Peter Criss did things to Kiss and to the fans that deserve his attitude and him speeding up and slowing down and the stuff that he did on the Dynasty tour. It warranted him getting fired. And so, but they like to lump, Gene and Paul, their stories, if you listen to them, they like to lump in the dismissal of Ace Frehley along with the dismissal of Peter Criss. And Ace Frehley, and I will go to my grave on this, I don't care what anybody says because I know it as a fact, Ace Frehley has never been fired from Kiss. Every time Ace has left Kiss, he has left Kiss on his own accord. He has left because I'm out of here. I don't want to be in this anymore. And the first time he left Kiss, they begged him to stay. They went to his house and begged him to stay. So they can say they fired Ace all they want. They can try to rewrite history. I'm one of those people who will not let them do it. I mean, they can do it to the general populaces, but they're not going to brainwash me. And I'm one of the people that I will not let them do it.
I don't even see why they do it though, because like it all the truth comes out in the end, you know. Like it's so obvious to see that when we look at the interview of Peter Criss in 1980, I know it's on Kissology 2, and he's talking about like I'm doing so much better. I've decided to quit the band, and you know I'm so much more talented now that I'm on my own. But no, it's not true. You were fired from Kiss. You can see through it. So why would you lie? You know about we fired Ace Frehley. No, you didn't. He left the band like twice.
Yeah. And I think there in the beginning, I think Peter was just trying to save face, and I think that Peter, I think Peter might. You never know because things can look bad. I remember the very first time that I saw that Peter had left Kiss. The headline, it was on a Circus magazine, and the headline was Peter Criss leaves Kiss, and all the press that you saw during that time. Made you think that Peter was moving, that Peter quit to pursue his own career on his own, and even had a solo album that started off with a song called By Myself, starting over again. But I think that could have been one of those things where it was like, okay, we're going to fire you. But here's the funny thing, even though Peter Criss was fired from the band, he still retained a lot of rights and was still making money off the band until he sold his rights away. And there's another big argument. There's the other big argument that people want to say is they want to say, well, Ace and Peter, they don't deserve their stuff because they signed it away. Peter signed his away. He did. Kiss flat out owns Peter's stuff. They lease Ace's stuff. Ace got a different lawyer than Peter, and Ace leases his stuff. He just recently, like a couple years ago, released it to them. That's why Ace can still use the title Spaceman, and you may not see him walking around with the makeup on, but you'll still see where he'll have album cover and stuff, and he'll have the makeup on. And did you notice on the Kiss My Ass album? Huh?
I said Space Invader. Sorry.
Yeah, Space Invader. And did you notice on the Kiss My Ass album, everybody's got on Kiss makeup except the little boy? He don't have Ace makeup on. He's got on some kind of weird makeup. He don't have on Ace's makeup. Why? If Kiss owned Ace's makeup, why didn't they put it on there? They owned it, but they don't own it, but they lease it with certain stipulations, and Ace still has certain stipulations over that. So Ace still owns his stuff. I mean, he just leases it, but that's why he still retains the right to call himself the Spaceman. Do you think if Paul Stanley owned Ace's makeup and the Spaceman title, do you think he wouldn't be slapping a lawsuit on Ace Frehley every time he's put Space Invader or put Spaceman on any of his stuff? He can do that because he still retains ownership. He leases certain aspects of it to Kiss, and that's one of the things that pisses me off too. Is people try to act like that Ace and Peter are total screw ups, and even Paul themselves have said, "Well, I'd really hate to be Ace and Peter right now. I'd really hate to be Ace and Peter. Just two big screw ups, two guys who had everything and gave it all away." It's like, oh, okay. So you'd hate to be a guy who just recently posted a video of him playing drums and did a pretty good job of it? I mean, that sounded like the old Alive solo to me. Peter can still play drums. He might not be able to play drums for 2.5 hours a night, 4 or 5 nights a week, but he could come on for a few songs. He could. Even at 76, he could.
You reminded me of something. You just reminded me of something. I have to show off something that I bought recently.
Okay.
Do you want to see something cool?
Yeah, sure. And
okay.
Ace still has a solo career. Ace is still touring. He's still making albums. Kiss can't say that.
True.
Okay. Sorry.
Go ahead.
This is from Peter's last show in Australia.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. Is
yeah,
that,
Peter Chris. Yeah.
Okay, but this is something that every time I explain it to somebody, they think I'm absolutely crazy. But as I said, if I have my Brazilian friend over here, he's taking pictures of it with his phone. This is a champagne bottle from Peter Chris's wedding.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that cool?
Oh, wow.
I got that from Backstage Auctions.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
And you know what? It actually still smells. Like, as crazy as it is. Yeah. So
that's cool. Very cool.
You guys can appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. I've never shown it off anywhere. So there you go.
Very good.
Sorry for cutting you off.
No.
That's okay. John had a good question. I think this will be the last question of the night. We've gone about an hour over, but that's cool because we've just been hanging out. And still got 14 with us. I know that there's 3 of it is us, but that's cool. John, be good. If Kiss had unmasked in 1980 with all the original members, that is the ultimate question. What would have happened?
The first thing that comes into my head is, what song would Peter sing? And it almost makes me want to grab my own mask vinyl. I feel like it would have stayed almost the same because Paul was the driving force. And I think Gene would have still had like Naked City and even the one they did on the show. She walks in like a lady. She's so European.
She's so European.
Yeah, I
love
Gene
that song.
Yeah, me too. But what would Peter have sang? Tomorrow?
Well, it wouldn't have been any of those songs on there. It would have been a song that Paul would have wrote for Peter. What song could he have sang? Maybe he could have sang. He could have sang. Yeah, maybe Ain't None of Your Business. But songs that exist on that, he probably maybe could have sang You're All That I Want. It's not my favorite song off that album. Okay. I think he could have sang You're All That I Want, but it would have either been a song that Paul would have wrote for him, or it would have been a song that he would have, used an old Stan Pendridge song, or he would have wrote a song with Vinnie Poncha. Since Vinnie produced that album, produced his solo album, he would have wrote a song. Because even Dirty Living was an old Lips song, or that they just totally rewrote the lyrics to, but the music was basically the same. What I don't know what would have happened to Kiss if they would have all unmasked. I do remember, because I was there, I remember after Dynasty, I remember Unmasked coming out, and I remember whenever we found out the name of the album was Unmasked, that we thought, oh, Kiss is going to take the makeup off.
Yeah.
And then you saw the album cover, you started seeing album advertisements for the album cover, and started thinking, well, there's no pictures of them. Maybe it's on the inside. And whenever I pulled the poster out, I fully expected to see a picture of Kiss without makeup on. And I remember when that didn't happen, I remember feeling kind of cheated. And I think Kiss knew what they were doing with that title.
For sure.
Now, I think at that point in time, the direction that Kiss was going, and with Peter Criss totally being off the rails, that he should have left. Ace had always been off the rails. I mean, he'd not off the rails, but Ace had always been an alcoholic. He had always been a drinker since all the way back in the beginning. So I think if they would have just kept moving in the creative direction, because Ace had how many songs on Unmasked? 3 or 4?
Yeah.
And Gene had maybe 1 song or 2 at the most, and Paul.
I think 2.
So if they would have, if the Elder would have went in the direction getting Eric in the band, getting some new blood in the band, if the Elder would have went in the direction that that Ace wanted to go, and they did not do the Elder, which I love the Elder. I'd hate losing it out of the catalog. But honestly, it wasn't the best move for Kiss. If they would have took off the makeup then, because you already lost an original member, and even though they were going to they made it make up for Eric, because this was before Paul was lazy, least effort, maximum profit. If they would have took the makeup off then, because they lost an original member, and they would have made Creatures of the Night without makeup. And I know Vinny was a big part of Creatures of the Night. I know that. We would have not necessarily got exactly Creatures of the Night, but there was rocking songs that Ace was wanting to make. So think about the songs that we didn't get, that we might have maybe got on Ace's first solo album. But if we would have had Creatures or an album in the Elder's place, like take the Elder out, move Creatures forward, and put an Unmasked album in the place of Creatures, I think we wouldn't have lost Ace. I don't think we would have lost Ace as fast, because, like I said, Kiss wasn't telling Ace they needed to leave. They weren't telling Ace he needed to leave like they were telling Peter. They were telling Ace, you need to straighten up, but they weren't giving him an ultimatum saying you need to leave. Why? Because Ace represented a big part of their fan base. Ace had 2 good songs. He had Shock Me. He had Rocket Ride, and then he had his solo album, and then he had the songs off of Dynasty, and then he had the songs off of. He was right at that point in time, Ace was riding high in the Kiss fan community, and probably approaching being the favorite member. And if they would have just done what they said they were going to do, if they would have done what they told everybody they were going to do, if you go back and look at that press, we're going to make the hardest album we've ever made. We're going to come out, we've done pop and we've done disco the last 2 albums. We're going to come out swinging. We're going to make a rocking album. And we got the Elder. And that's when a lot of fans was like, fuck this, I'm out. Okay, I put up with your disco shit. I put up with your bubblegum pop crap. Now you're going to put this Lord of the Rings Tolkien stuff on us. I'm done. And they lost a lot of fans, and they lost so many fans that even a badass album like Creatures could not bring them back.
Yep.
It took them taking off the makeup and that getting them attention for people to listen to Lick It Up. Yeah. And unpopular opinion, whether it is or not, but in my opinion, I love Lick It Up and Creatures, but I like Creatures better.
Yep.
And I think Creatures is the better of the 2 albums. And if they had just done what they did between Lick It Up and Creatures, if they would have done that on one album, put that collection of songs together, whether Ace was in the band or not at that point, because they had a good contributing songwriter with Vinny. Say what you want about Vinny, personally or not. Vinny is a great songwriter, and he was a great collaborator and co-writer with Gene and Paul.
Yeah, there he is.
So if even if Ace would have left Kiss, if they would have skipped the Elder and made an album that basically constituted of the best of Creatures and Lick It Up and took the makeup off, I don't think they would have. I think they would have came back and they would have went into the 80s being one of those 80s powerhouse bands, and they could have just built on that success. I mean, because you think about it, once they had Lick It Up, they had good albums until they got to Animalize was okay. I mean, at that point in time, Gene, with Lick It Up and with Lick It Up and Animalize and Asylum, Gene was trying to be Mr. Producer, be Mr. Hollywood, and it really hurt. It gave Paul too much creative control, and then the albums just started sounding the same. I mean, let's face it. I mean, I'm not saying they're not bad albums, but Animalize and Asylum, they sound almost alike.
I don't agree. I much prefer Asylum than Animalize.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I prefer Asylum over Animalize too. Yeah, but
now having said that, this is going to be the unpopular vote, but I prefer Crazy Nights over both of those albums.
Wow, that is unpopular with me.
Yeah.
How about I can say that I prefer Revenge over all those albums.
Yeah, well, that's a fair say, and I bet you I'm the only person on this poll right now that prefers Hot in the Shade to a lot of albums that we could list right now.
You are correct, sir.
Yeah.
I like Hot in the Shade better than I do Crazy Nights.
Wow, really?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Mm-hmm. Why?
Because Crazy Nights has songs like My Way and too much synthesizer. Way too much synthesizer.
I have to say I love that. It's just, you know what, it could be the fact that I wasn't brought up in the time.
But you weren't brought up in the time. It was Kiss trying to be Bon Jovi. It was Kiss trying to be Bon Jovi. I grew up through it. And when Kiss should not sound like Bon Jovi. And they were trying to. They actually said, there was, in their staff meetings, there used to be conversations like, what's Bon Jovi doing? What's Bon Jovi doing?
Well, I think you could say that about any Kiss album. Like, you listen to Carnival of Souls, it's Kiss trying to sound like the times. They're trying to sound like grunge. Or if you put on, like, say, Monster, they're trying to sound like almost themselves. You know, like they're Kiss. I think maybe it's a kind of a bit of a statement, but I think after, say, Love Gun, they were just always trying to sound like something instead of just putting out something that they all believed in.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I don't know. I love it all. Like, I think, like, with all the albums, there's something to like in all of it.
Well, that's one thing that I can say that I do like about Kiss, and we're going to get out here in just a minute because AJ's been up almost 24 hours. That's one thing that I do like about Kiss is even if they were chasing trends or trying to sound like other bands or trying to fit in with the times as far as music and as far as look goes, I may talk crap about that every once in a while, but at the end of the day, I'm glad that they did it because every single Kiss album has, even Hot in the Shade, has aspects about it that I like. Even with Monster, even with Sonic Boom, even with Carnival Souls is one of my favorite Kiss albums, and it is very well documented. It is a very much hated Kiss album. I've actually had a conversation with a Kiss fan one time in person. We were talking about Kiss, and they said, what's one of your favorite Kiss albums? And I named a few, and I kind of spat out Carnival of Souls. And they're like, I hate that album. God, I hate that album. It doesn't sound like Kiss at all. I said, exactly. That's what's so good about it, is it doesn't sound like Kiss. And they looked at me like, what? And I'm like, I love that it doesn't sound like Kiss. I love that they tried something. And to me, I think I think it is the greatest Bruce Kulick album that he ever made with Kiss. It's his baby. It's basically a Bruce Kulick project. Yeah. I'd love to get in touch with the man and just sit down, off video or not, just sit down and talk to him about Carnival of Souls, because Carnival of Souls to me is like, it's like literally my top three.
Brand. I had a video call with him. I'd say like a few months ago to a year ago, and this is just something that always just kills me to think about. We were just doing a guitar lesson, and he showed me, like, he had some stuff on his desk or whatever. Like, this is just my documents of, this is the grocery shopping and this is whatever. And he picked up something and he said, this is going to be on an auction, or I think he was selling it to somebody. It was his actual, like, how would you put it? Like, it was all his, like, notes for Carnival of Souls. Like, as in, like, little circles with a line through it showing his exact amp settings and pedal settings for the Carnival of Souls sessions. And I was just going, no, please just sell it to me, No, it's already sold. And so it's a kicker.
Yeah. I admire Bruce and the fact that back during COVID, when he was basically stuck at home and we were all stuck at home, and everything was on lockdown. And that's so surreal to think about that point in time when we were on lockdown. You could not leave your house, or you were strongly suggested not to leave your house. And, I worked from home for, a few months. And I remember Bruce was doing these. He had almost on his Instagram every day these licks from Bruce, where he'd sit down and he would talk about the song, and then he would play the lick or play the solo. And all these years later, he's just so spot on all of it. And I just really admire the musicianship and just the ability that he has. And he's one of those guys, like, he could sit down and play a Kiss song from the mid 80s. He could sit down and play it today like he wrote it yesterday. And I just think that's so cool. I wonder if
Vinny can still do that.
I think Vinny can. Well, I think a lot is that Vinny has stayed very secretive on a lot of things, especially with a lot of things that he's done. He's stayed very secretive on things. And I don't think people always try to immediately think bad. They're like, oh, he's secretive because he can't play anymore, and so he don't want people to see that he can't play. And if he can still rip, and if he can still play, where's the video evidence? And then you hear the people that's went to the things that have said, yeah, he can still play, yeah, he can still solo, he can still sing, and well, where's your video evidence? Well, we weren't allowed to video. But it's like, okay, because you don't have video evidence, then it can't be true. And just because you don't have video evidence of something doesn't mean it's not true. I mean, I ate lasagna earlier today. I don't have any video evidence or photographic evidence.
Not true.
But right. But I did. So I Vinny. I think sometimes Vinny catches a bad rap. Has he made bad decisions in his career? Yeah. Has Kiss and everybody, has almost anybody that's in, haven't we all made bad decisions in our careers? It's just.
I came on this show.
Yeah, that's a bad decision for you. Yeah, it sure was. Sure was. Oh, by the way, it's time for you to go. No, I'm kidding. Oh, wait a minute. Where's the leave? Where's the leave broadcast button? There it is.
Hang on. I have an ejector seat.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and cut this. It's 10:08, and I appreciate Glenn. Appreciate you coming on. I gotta have you in a video again soon.
Thanks very much for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Everybody, if you're still in, we got 17 people still in. It's funny how it's been coming up and going down and everything. We were at like 25 earlier. That was great.
We're probably hitting different time zones. That's probably what it is.
Yeah. You stay on long enough, people just figure out. That's what we need to do, AJ. We need to get us a bunch of Red Bulls, and we need to have us like a telethon one day. Just like have this long marathon of a stream.
Yeah, like sometimes I get notifications that you're going live, and I'm going, fuck, I'm up for work in like 4 hours. I can't watch this. So like, you're probably hitting different time zones.
Yeah.
So luckily I'm off tonight and tomorrow. So
nice.
Yep. Everybody's saying goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. And I hope everybody has a great remainder of your week. And we'll be back next week with, what was it? Ozzy versus Ozzy. So we'll be back next week. And everybody, appreciate you. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Turn off the news. Turn up the rock. We'll see you in the next one. And thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Good night.
Thanks very much, guys.
Thanks for hanging out. We'll see y'all later.
Stay safe. See you.
All right.
Night, man.
Good night.
Night. Talk to you tomorrow, AJ.